Hi guys, so today we are going to see a gist of development of the cardiovascular system. So usually the heart develops from a splanchnopleuric coelomic epithelium. This gives rise to your myocardium, including the conductive system of the heart. Now coming on to your intrauterine life, on day 16 of the intrauterine life, what happens is that the progenitor cells, they migrate through the primitive streak to a region that is nothing but cranial to the neural folds. There they form a horseshoe shaped region which is nothing but your cardiogenic area. So this cardiogenic area is cranial to your neural folds. The intracoelomic area develops into the pericardial activity, and the mesoderm surrounding this pericardial activity or cavity leads to the formation of heart tube. Now coming to the cardiac jelly, this cardiac jelly is nothing but the gelatinous substance secreted by our myocardium. So this goes and accumulates in the endocardial cushions, giving rise to or transforming into our connective tissue of the endocardium. The heartbeat is usually heard in the 4th week of intrauterine life, and this heart tube has 5 dilations. This is the main thing here. The heart tube has 5 dilations, that is, one is truncus arteriosus, which is present in the arterial end. Next is bulbus cordis. Next is primitive ventricle, primitive atrium, and the last one, which is present in the venous end, is sinus venosus. Now this sinus venosus has horn of sinus venosus and gives rise to 3 divisions, that is common cardinal vein, umbilical vein, and vitelline vein. Now coming to the adult derivatives. So what these 5 dilations gives rise to in our human heart, that is, first is truncus arteriosus, which gives rise to your ascending aorta and pulmonary trunk, and next is bulbus cordis, which gives rise to the smooth upper part of the right ventricle and left ventricle. Next is your primitive ventricle, which gives rise to trabeculated, that is the rough part of your right ventricle and left ventricle. Next is primitive atrium, which gives rise to trabeculated part of right atrium and left atrium. Next is sinus venosus. This is the last one. This gives rise to your smooth part of right atrium, coronary sinus, and oblique vein of left atrium. Now this sinus venosus, as we saw here, what happens is that the right horn, what it does, it gets absorbed into the posterior aspect of the primitive atrium, giving rise to the formation of the smooth part of right atrium. Next is the left horn of sinus venosus gives rise to or transforms into coronary sinus. They have 3 divisions, right? So right common cardinal vein, right umbilical vein, and right vitelline vein. The right umbilical vein will start regressing, whereas the right common cardinal vein forms a part of superior vena cava, and right vitelline vein forms a part of inferior vena cava. Now coming on to inferior vena cava, it has a valve surrounded by which, that is the eustachian valve. It is a rudimentary semilunar valve. Whereas the valve of coronary sinus, the coronary sinus is formed from the left heart of sinus venosus. So the coronary sinus is also surrounded by a valve, that is Thebatian valve, which is an incomplete semicircular valve. That's all guys.